Ora bem, maltinha, bem-vindos ao stream, no Machute. Estou aqui para vos trazer Genshin Impact, as aventuras do noob. E é isso, maltinha. Agora começa a farm terrível para um tal. Neste momento vamos formar a parte terrível para um tal, que é primogems. É verdade. Estive aqui de tarde, meu, e pensei assim, epá, pensei hardamente, opá, vamos começar uma farm como deve ser. Então o que eu fiz? Gastei as primogems que tinha nesta daqui. Se saiu, se não saiu, não saiu, paciência. Estou nos 60 agora. Hum. 66. Estou nos 66. Estou no soft pit. Vamos a ver agora, a partir de agora, como é que vamos formar. Então vamos depender de os diários. Temos a lua, 101 dias de lua. Temos os diários. Temos os eventos e temos os cofres que vamos abrindo. Então, o que é que vamos fazer? Durante este tempo todo, enquanto não banhou o tal, vamos fazer o seguinte: vamos limpar e na zoom. E eu, quando digo limpar, eu digo limpar mesmo. Ou seja, nós já temos as estátuas todas no nível máximo. A nível de estátuas, já não ganhamos nada. Não é verdade? A gente já começa a ganhar agora alguma coisa através dos... prontos, daqui desta situação que chama-se do rank de... começa a ganhar alguma coisa através do rank da cidade. Não é? Então, eu acho que aqui não dá para fazer ainda. Por acaso já dá para fazer. Vamos fazer isto. Está em cima da água. estando em cima da água, não é? Não há grande coisa a fazer. Portanto, a partir de agora vocês sabem que vão ver coisas aborrecidas, mas essenciais para a farm. E é isto que vocês devem fazer para conseguir um bom farm de primogems. Nível 6 já está.
We're way behind schedule. This is long overdue. Born of ice.
Order guide you.
Destiny cannot be denied. Access denied.
Yeah. Se vocês tiverem perguntas podem fazê-las à vontade, que eu saber respondo. Obviamente está todo tramado dos ossos.
Next on the agenda. We're way behind schedule. For Rex Lapis.
I will have order.
Born of ice and frost.
Witness the power of Gua, body and mind.
Didn't see that coming.
Solidify.
Let me scry. Zap. We're way behind schedule.
Aqui já pronto. É essa que eu queria, que eu quero. O rank número 9. Este é o rank que eu quero. Para procurar tesouros no coisa. Em Inazuma. Este é muito importante.
I'll keep an eye.
For justice.
You called?
Solidify!
Oi. É, não primeiro.
No touching.
Cheap tricks.
This is long overdue.
Ring cutter.
My blade! Fall before me!
Time to act. Forward.
Cut down!
Useless. Rain outlines your fate.
To the ferry?
We're way behind schedule.
Já para não falar que tenho que fazer aquelas missões de... aquelas missões dos encontros.
Next on the agenda.
Body and mind. Time to act. I have taught you everything I know.
Eu venho só.
Didn't see that coming. Access denied. Must press on.
Solidify. This is order.
Useless.
Haha.
May my final stand be a...
Stabilize.
Foreign. Useless.
Haha. Fogo, tô para longe. Ui, olha aí. Oh, oh.
You're open.
I can no longer hold back. No, my sword.
Morre.
You're open. Disappear like plague. Here. Here. Worthless.
Não sei porque eu não fui a coisa. A estátua. Mas pronto. Já estou a metade para o nível 7. Para a semana já consigo fazer este. Já consigo pôr o nível 7. Para a semana já consigo o nível 7. Depois mais 2, 3 semanas já tenho o nível 9. E aí, nessa altura não sei se irei precisar totalmente de coisa. Mas pronto. Vamos lá. Agora vamos às missões. Tempo livre. Navegação. Vamos estar a apertar para aqui.
Just what will we come across this time?
For justice.
Pois eu estou. Nós aqui no tempo livre fizemos. Aqui só tem duas coisas. E aqui tem outras coisas. Aqui está feito. Agora vamos fazer esta aqui, tempo livre. No tempo livre há mais uma que se pode fazer. Não é? Portanto, vamos ver qual é que é a terceira opção que nos aparece depois no tempo livre. Se é que aparece, só temos que tomar mais atenção. Vamos lá. Espera aí que...
Yes, I'm already awake.
Já acordei.
I'll be out in a moment. I'm just changing.
Vou trocar de roupa.
Good morning. Did you sleep well? There's nothing to worry about. We just need to go through the schedule you made and tick the items off one by one. So, what's item 1 on today's schedule? I imagine this must have taken Baisher completely by surprise. Sure, there's no harm in changing my schedule around once in a while. My schedule is usually very tightly packed, and any extra time I can squeeze out is spent on preparing for the future. So, it'll be quite nice to take a break. I don't often feel tired. Seeing the Mora come in has a way of making me feel quite invigorated. Still, your idea is very sensible. Mora can only lift a weary spirit. It cannot alleviate physical fatigue. So then, the days ahead of us. Any ideas on how to spend it?
A primeira vez fiz este. O segundo fiz este. Fazer coisas que antes não se tinha tempo para fazer. Fazer coisas que antes não se tinha a chance de fazer.
Something I never have the opportunity to do. Interesting. Before I decide, I'd like to know, what gave you this idea? Because as far as most people are concerned, Mora is the key to any and all opportunities. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is what I appreciate about you. You see things the way they are, rather than how they appear. I want to do something a little self-indulgent. Is that okay by you? Thank you. All right, here it is. I've always thought it would be fun to recapture what life was like before I joined the Leo Ichising. I was born into a humble family, and all the wealth you see now began with a single haul of fish. I had to. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Fishing isn't the half of it. You'd be amazed at some of the odd jobs I've worked in my time. A lot of the old folks like to brag about how I used to be their errand runner back in the day. They were tough times, but I had a clear goal and plenty of motivation. If I didn't make any money in the morning, I'd have no food for lunch. I guess that's why I came to be so obsessed with Mora. I want to relive that time for my life. Feel some of that drive again. Take a trip down memory lane. So how about it? Will you join me? Great. Then let me lay down the ground rules. We're not to use our status or reputation in Liyue Harbor to our advantage, and we have no starting capital. The goal is to see how much more we can make under these conditions. I can see why you'd suggest that. You're thinking I could use my knowledge of how Mora works to my advantage and make a lot of money there. But Northland Bank is a special case. I rather suspect I would not be welcome there. Yes, and also... Never mind. I'll just show you. It won't eat up too much time. I expect they still hold a grudge against me to this day.
Ah, esta é... Ok, acho que... esta é a última fase. Ok. Era bom que faltava fazer. Era o banco que faltava fazer. Ainda não, ainda não, ainda não, ainda não, ainda não, ainda não, ainda não. Agora! Pum! Chacalaca, meu. Tudo isto é para ganhar bora. Não esquecer, subam aquelas escadas por ali acima, ali daquele lado vai ter um cofre. 200 capas de ouro.
Lady Ningguang,
O tom de voz dela a falar o nome da Ningguang.
I would hope that you're not here to create further trouble for the Fatui. With all due respect, too much official pressure will risk driving our bank out of business.
There's no need to be so hostile. I'm just here to talk business. So, are you in business or not?
That depends on the proposal, and it's not my decision alone. But first, tell me, why should we believe that you really are here for business? Because if you're here to make us suffer huge losses like last time, then I'm sorry, but none of us here can afford that.
Straight to the point, I see. Works for me. Traveler, we're leaving. Let's not waste any more of our time here. Do you see what I mean now? Their attitude was just as I expected. That's for sure. Although our diplomatic relations with Snezhnaya haven't broken down completely. I dealt them a rather ruthless blow with the size of the reparations payment I imposed. This sum was paid by Northland Bank, so they are still wary of me to this day. Yes, with some exceptions, but that is more or less correct. If you encounter them in any other nations during your travels, be on your guard. They are more than just a commercial organization. That's okay. My intention here was to show you some of the repercussions of that great battle. But that's quite enough politics for today. Let's get back to our fun little survival game. Now that you mention it, yes. We're being watched. What are they plotting this time? My thoughts exactly. But we need to be discreet. If they realize we're onto them, then we'll lose the element of surprise. Let's act natural, determine who our tail is, then lure them somewhere more deserted so we can catch them. Keep moving, just walk forward at normal pace and don't do anything to give away that we suspect anything. Okay, I think we have a few potential suspects. There's a lot of foot traffic here, but if you look closely, you'll see only a handful of people have been watching us constantly. But I'm still not sure which of them is our tail. Agreed. Whoever it is will continue to follow us. we've narrowed it down a little further. But let's stay calm until we're 100% sure. It shouldn't take much longer. I think I have the answer. Let's get out of his line of sight and sneak up on him. Don't get the wrong person, though, or all our efforts will have been for nothing.
What are you doing?
Come now. Did you really think we wouldn't notice you sneaking around?
What? I'm not doing anything.
I don't know what scheme Northland Bank has in the works, and I don't know what they're paying you. But let's make a deal. How cooperative you are now decides how much immunity I give you when this gets investigated. Or do you seriously think Northland Bank won't throw you to the wolves when push comes to shove? Why don't you weigh the pros and cons and give me a clear answer before I retract my offer?
Sorry, Lady Ningguang. My assignment was just to follow you, I promise, that's it. When you showed up unannounced at Northland Bank, everyone was instantly on high alert. We figured you must be up to something, but your brief conversation left us none the wiser as to your intentions. We couldn't just overlook it. We had to get to the bottom of it before we could put our minds at rest.
I know they're wary of me, but this is still an overreaction, surely. This all feels very suspicious. There must be more to this than he is letting on. I only took you there to demonstrate how tense things are. Somehow we only tested the waters, but ended up with the catch of the day.
But
Is there anyone else following us besides you?
Yes. They would have seen this and reported back.
Then we need to get moving. The longer they have to react, the fewer clues they'll leave behind. No time. I'll just have to improvise. Keep him with you. Do not let him slip away.
Are you saying that Ningguang hasn't done anything? Impossible! She wouldn't have shown up here out of the blue without good reason. Keep investigating. We must ascertain her intentions.
So much commotion. This must be an important meeting.
Oh, great.
It looks like I wasn't supposed to be privy to the contents of this particular meeting. Things.
So, you are here to investigate us after all. Where did you get wind of this?
That doesn't matter. What matters is that I made a brief and inconsequential visit, and your first reaction was to immediately arrange a sizable surveillance operation with myself as the target. You couldn't have advertised your guilty conscience more clearly if you'd tried. You may as well come clean. You know I will not turn a blind eye to any violation of the rules in Liyue Harbor.
Even if we cooperate with her investigation, she's bound to find problems even where there are none. Well, if you're such a stickler for the rules, you can carry out your investigation by the book. The Northland Bank has no obligation to cooperate, even with a member of the Liyue Chising.
Fine by me. Then I'll take my time. But you'll be begging to tell me everything by the time I'm through.
Eu sei. Já está. Está para começar agora em mês. Vamos fazer este. Vamos transportar, curar. Olha ali, olha. Ih, olha ali. Boa noite.
I really can't recommend that store highly enough. A couple more visits and you'll find that the fur on your tail is silky smooth. A gorgeous tail like yours deserves lots of tender loving.
Só um bocadinho, Maltinha, já bem, só um bocadinho.
Don't you agree?
Olha, gajo, vamos lá ver. Já que você tem uma cauda tão bonita, você deveria cuidar dela. E depois? Cuidar dela porquê? Você não acha?
No need. I'm not interested in that kind of thing.
You say that, but do I see your ears saying otherwise? Although your tail isn't professionally maintained, the fur doesn't look dry and coarse. To me, this says you like to take care of it. I'm also guessing that you like to curl up into a fetal position and hug your fluffy tail tight as you go off to sleep.
How do you know? Don't be ridiculous. I'm a high-ranking general of Watatsumi Island. How could I do such a thing?
Oh, it's okay. There's no need to be embarrassed. The desire to cuddle up to a soft tail while sleeping is quite natural.
Really?
Apanhou de surpresa. Agora já foste direitinho aqui na armadilha dela.
Wait, no. Why are we still on this topic? In fact, why am I even here talking about tails with you in the first place?
Why? Because you are blessed with a wonderful fluffy tail, that's why. I think it's very cute.
Ugh. Trapped. How do I get out of this? It's you! Oh, thank goodness. Save me.
And how is my favorite little one doing, I didn't expect to meet you here. We were just talking about tails. Goro has a beautiful tail, don't you think? Doesn't it make you want to stroke it? Don't be nervous. Just follow your heart's desire.
He's not going to fall for it. We've fought side by side.
Pardon me. Lady Gucci, we have completed the matter you instructed us about previously. We have selected a very skilled artist to be in charge. I'm confident that the finished product will be to your satisfaction.
I'll take a look later, and if everything's in order, place it in front of the store. All right. I won't tease the two of you any further. Do make the most of your trip here, won't you? Quite a lot has changed. I wish you both a fun-filled time on Narukami Island.
There was definitely something strange about the way she looked at me in the end there. Could she be plotting something? Sorry that you had to see that. The real reason I'm here at Yae Publishing House is to buy some books for Her Excellency. Since Watatsumi Island signed a peace treaty with the shogunate, we've had much closer contact than we did before. I also wanted to come and see what things are like in an area ruled by the shogunate. I hadn't counted on running into her. I've interacted with her a few times before, but I can't say I've ever gotten used to it. I've never been good at dealing with people like her. The way she towers over me and speaks so cryptically. Something about her is strangely intimidating. I could probably deal with her in battle, but I don't know where to start when I run into her in normal life. I guess this is a weakness of mine. Really? That would be great. To be honest, this is something that's always worried me. If the soldiers ever saw me in this kind of embarrassing situation, they'd be very disappointed. So, I have to overcome it, for their sake. As soon as I've worked through this, let's go take on Yae Miko again. First things first, though. Do you have any ideas on where to begin? Good plan. Start by studying some theory, address the fear at its root, and then I'll have nothing to be afraid of. But where would I go to learn about this? I wouldn't know anyone on Narukami Island. Oh, let's go back to Watatsumi Island and ask around there.
Olha.
There's nothing wrong with reaping a reward every now and then.
Whew. I feel more at ease on Watatsumi Island. I had an idea on the way here. Many of my army comrades are older than me, and I'm sure that handling this kind of situation must be second nature to them by now. So I thought we could go ask them for advice. But I can't just go to them and say, hey, I'm no good at this. So instead, I'm going to go with a cover story. That I'm asking for a friend.
I see. So, you're saying that your friend, sorry, is having some trouble with a certain someone who has an intense personality?
Yes. So I'm here on my friend's behalf to ask you for advice on a coping strategy.
Based on my experience, the easiest way to deal with people like that is just go through the motions. Well, you see, General Goro, General Goro's friend, I mean, always listens intently when other people are talking, and takes them very seriously. No matter who the other person is, General Goro's friend treats them all equally. Which, don't get me wrong, is something I admire very much. But the other side of the coin is that it makes General Goro's friend very susceptible to falling for the other party's verbal traps and being led by the nose. Now, if something like that is bothering you, your best bet is simply to not give the other party your full, undivided attention. Don't hang on their every word, and when they ask a difficult question, just gloss over it.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. So that's how it's done.
Well, it's something to try. Whether it'll actually work in this case is a different question. Going through the motions is a skill that everyone has to get the hang of as they get older. I'm guessing General Goro's friend is on the younger side.
Well, on my friend's behalf, thank you for your advice.
Don't mention it. Oh, yes, I heard that Miwa from Sangonomiya Shrine is also in the area. Why don't you ask her for advice, too? She's supposed to be good with interpersonal stuff. It can't hurt to get another perspective.
Makes sense. All right, let's see what Miwa has to say. Most people who wish to have an audience with Her Excellency usually start by presenting their name cards and official documents to Miwa, who then passes them along. So I'm sure Miwa has lots of experience dealing with all kinds of people. Hopefully, she'll have some good ideas.
General Goro, and the captain of Swordfish too. What are you doing here?
We wanted to ask you about something.
I see. So General Goro's friend wants to overcome his weakness, right?
That's right. Do you have any advice?
Let me think. My advice would be to hide what you are really thinking. Cast your minds back. Why do you think Yae Miko was able to tease General Goro's friend?
and not the other way around. It's because she always has that same smile on her face, so no one ever knows what she's really thinking. She's already won the battle right from the start. If General Goro's friend wants to go head-on with her, he must at least learn to do as she does, to conceal the workings of his mind.
Ah, you make so much sense. So what you're saying is, my friend just needs to keep his cool, and she won't have the chance to take advantage of him.
Exactly. Many things look complicated on the surface, but often, all it comes down to is who loses their cool first.
Wonderful. You have my gratitude. I'm sure with your approach, that friend of mine will be able to overcome his weakness.
Then I wish General Goro's friend a great victory.
Well, I'm slowly starting to gain confidence. Oh, I suddenly remembered. Her Excellency updated her general operational directives recently. Who knows? There may be some useful suggestions in there too. Let's go take a look, just to be thorough. Her Excellency handed me the general operational directives in 3 parts, and I think this is where I placed them. Let's see. Deployment and mobilization, logistics, conflict resolution, dealing with Outlander merchants. Aha! I've got it! How to avoid awkward social situations. That's Her Excellency for you. She thinks of everything, doesn't she? Socializing is as important as a decisive battle. Know yourself and your enemy to succeed. Boy, if even Her Excellency treats this so seriously, then we'd really better be careful. What I take from this is it's not enough just to learn some general countermeasures. We need specific knowledge of Yae Miko's individual weaknesses to achieve ultimate victory. But how do we figure her out? Yae Publishing House. Makes sense. Since she goes there often, perhaps we can find some telling details about her there. Let's go and investigate.
There you go. Oh. Já recuperamos 100. Já temos um desejo. O objetivo é 500 desejos. Mas para hoje, vamos ficar por aqui. Para hoje ficamos por aqui porque... Oh, eu estava a ver o plano, não, já temos esquecido disto. Às 3 finais, 1, 2, 3. Porque tenho que ir para o PC da manhã. Ontem. Até amanhã. Boa noite. E continuação do bom fim de semana. Fiquem bem. Divirtam-se muito. E gastem pouco. Tchau, tchau, maltinha.